3:47 a.m. local time. The Strait of Hormuz, the narrowest and most dangerous choke point on the planet. Only 21 nautical miles separate Iran from the Arabian Peninsula. Every single day, 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this razor-thin corridor of water. Tonight, the USS Gerald R Ford Carrier Strike Group is transiting through the strait. 5,000 American sailors packed inside a 100,000-ton floating city. The Ford is escorted by 2 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers and a Ticonderoga-class cruiser. Their Aegis combat systems are fully active, scanning the skies and seas in every direction. The Strait of Hormuz is the most surveilled waterway on Earth, but tonight the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps has been planning something for 8 months, something designed to shock the world. If you want the full truth of what happened next, hit like so this story reaches more people. At 3:51 a.m., the radar operators aboard the USS Truxtun detect something unusual. Faint returns, dozens of them, then hundreds. The operator blinks. His screen is filling up with contacts emerging from the Iranian coastline near Bandar Abbas, Iran's largest naval base on the strait. 200 contacts, low altitude, slow speed, no transponders. The operator slams the alarm. The Combat Information Center erupts into controlled chaos. The identification is confirmed within seconds. 200 Iranian Shahed-136 kamikaze drones. They are flying in a massive coordinated wave formation just 200 feet above the dark water, hugging the surface to minimize radar detection time. Their target is obvious, the USS Gerald R. Ford, the most expensive warship ever built. A $13 billion symbol of American naval dominance. Iran wants to put it on the bottom of the Strait of Hormuz. The geography of this choke point makes this attack uniquely terrifying. Unlike the open waters of the Persian Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz is a narrow corridor surrounded by Iranian islands, coastal missile batteries, and underground drone launch facilities carved directly into the Zagros Mountains. The drones only have to fly 30 miles across the water to reach the carrier group. At 100 miles per hour, that gives the American fleet less than 18 minutes to react. Iran has spent years studying the mathematics of American missile defense. Their commanders understand one brutal equation. A single SM-2 interceptor missile costs $2.1 million. A single Shahed-136 drone costs $20,000. If Iran forces the United States to use interceptors against every drone, America spends $420 million to defeat a $4 million attack. But here is the real danger. The escort destroyers carry a combined total of approximately 180 vertical launch cells. Not all of them are loaded with anti-air missiles. Some carry Tomahawks, some carry anti-submarine rockets. Realistically, the strike group might have 100 interceptors available against 200 drones. The math does not work. If even 10 drones penetrate the defensive envelope, their 100-pound explosive warheads will slam into the Ford's flight deck, its radar arrays, its aircraft elevators. A single hit could knock the carrier out of the fight. 10 hits could cripple it permanently. Now the IRGC commanders, sitting in their hardened bunker beneath Bandar Abbas, believe this is the night they humble the United States Navy. They believe they have created an unsolvable problem. They are catastrophically wrong. Comment Ghost Rider. If you believe no drone swarm can survive the Angel of Death. Because 22,000 feet above the Strait of Hormuz, invisible against the moonless sky, a lone aircraft has been orbiting in complete silence for the last 4 hours. Its transponder is off. Its exterior lights are extinguished. It is flying a slow, lazy left-hand orbit directly above the carrier strike group. This aircraft is the AC-130J Ghost Rider, call sign Wraith-07, attached to the 4th Special Operations Squadron out of Hurlburt Field, Florida. The Ghost Rider was not sent here by accident. The United States Central Command had intelligence indicating a major IRGC drone operation was imminent. Satellite imagery showed unusual activity at Iran's underground drone storage facilities near Bandar Abbas. Signal intercepts picked up encrypted IRGC communications referencing a large-scale maritime strike. So CENTCOM positioned Wraith-07 above the strait 72 hours in advance, refueling it in midair every 6 hours, keeping it on station as an invisible guardian angel. The AC-130J Ghost Rider is the most devastating airborne weapons platform ever created. It is a 164-foot-long C-130J Super Hercules transport aircraft that has been completely gutted and rebuilt as a flying arsenal. Let's break down the weapons that Wraith-07 is carrying tonight. Primary weapon, the 105mm M102 howitzer. This is a full-sized artillery cannon mounted on the port side of the aircraft, firing through a massive opening in the fuselage. It fires 33-pound high-explosive shells at a rate of 6 to 10 rounds per minute. But tonight, the howitzer is not loaded with standard high-explosive rounds. It is loaded with M1040 proximity-fused airburst canister rounds. These rounds are specifically designed for counter-swarm warfare. When fired, the shell streaks toward the target area. A miniature radar unit built into the nose of the shell continuously scans ahead. When it detects it has entered the optimal kill zone within the drone formation, the shell detonates in midair. The explosion releases a hurricane of 2,000 tungsten steel fragments at 6,000 feet per second. A single airburst round creates a kill sphere 60 meters in diameter. Anything inside that sphere, drone, missile, aircraft, is instantly shredded into confetti. Secondary weapon, the GAU-23/A Bushmaster 230mm autocannon. This chain-driven cannon fires 200 rounds per minute of high-explosive incendiary tracer ammunition. Each 30mm round weighs nearly a pound and detonates on impact, creating a small but devastating explosion. Against a fiberglass Shahed drone, a single 30mm hit is an instant kill. And the Ghost Rider's advanced fire control system can track and engage individual targets the size of a dinner table from over 3 miles away. The targeting suite includes a dual-band infrared sensor, a laser designator, a synthetic aperture radar, and a battle management system that can simultaneously track up to 120 individual targets and prioritize them by threat level. But this aircraft was built to destroy swarms. Type yes if you want to see all 200 targets erased at once. 3:53 a.m. The drone swarm is now 22 miles from the carrier group and closing fast. Inside the Combat Information Center of the Ford, the Air Warfare Commander picks up the tactical radio. Ford actual to Wraith-07. 200 hostile inbound. You are cleared to engage. Wraith-07 copies. Engaging. Inside the Ghost Rider, the scene is controlled violence. The aircraft commander banks the plane into its signature pylon turn, a continuous left-hand bank that tilts the entire aircraft 30 degrees, perfectly aligning the portside weapons with the ocean surface below. The fire control officers are staring at their thermal imaging screens. The 200 Iranian drones appear as a constellation of tiny white-hot signatures moving in a dense wave across the black water. The targeting computers instantly calculate range, bearing wind speed, humidity, temperature differential, and optimal engagement altitude for the airburst rounds. The fire control officer speaks into his headset. Wraith-07 Fire Control. Target package acquired. 200 hostile UAVs, range 19 miles. Formation density is high. Recommend airburst engagement pattern Alpha. Fuses set. The aircraft commander responds. Wraith-07 is cleared hot. Weapons free. T-minus 90 seconds. The engagement begins. The 105mm howitzer fires. The recoil is so violent it rocks the 75-ton aircraft sideways. The shell exits the barrel at 1,550 feet per second and screams downward in a calculated arc toward the center of the drone formation. 2 seconds later, the proximity fuse activates. The shell detonates 40 feet above the wave of drones. A blinding white flash tears open the darkness over the strait. 2,000 tungsten fragments expand outward in a perfect sphere of destruction. 18 Shahed drones are annihilated instantly. Wings are severed, engines are punctured, fuel tanks rupture and ignite. Several warheads detonate sympathetically, creating secondary explosions that destroy additional drones nearby. The chain reaction is devastating. T-minus 75 seconds. The howitzer fires again, and again, and again. The automated loading system feeds another 33-pound shell into the breach every 7 seconds. Boom, flash, destruction, boom, flash, or destruction. Each airburst round erases another cluster of 12 to 18 drones. The sky over the Strait of Hormuz is flickering like a thunderstorm. Fireballs bloom and die in rapid succession. Burning drone wreckage tumbles into the strait, hissing as it hits the dark water. In the IRGC command bunker beneath Bandar Abbas, the operators watching their satellite feed are frozen. Their screens are showing drone after drone going dark. 40 destroyed, 70 destroyed, 100 destroyed. The swarm is being massacred and they cannot do anything to stop it. Share this video so the world understands what happens when you threaten the U.S. Navy. T-minus 45 seconds. The howitzer has fired 12 rounds. Over 140 drones have been obliterated, but the surviving 60 drones are now scattering. Their basic GPS autopilot systems are not programmed for evasion, but the explosions and shock waves are physically pushing them off course, spreading them across a wider area. The dense formation that made them vulnerable to airburst rounds is breaking apart. The Ghost Rider crew adapts instantly. Transition to 30 Mike. The fire control officer switches to the GAU-23/A Bushmaster cannon. The weapon spools up with a mechanical whine that the crew can feel vibrating through the airframe. Then it opens fire. The sound is not a series of bangs. It is a continuous, deep, guttural roar. A river of glowing orange tracer rounds pours from the side of the aircraft in a solid stream, sweeping across the scattered drones like a fire hose of destruction. When a 30mm explosive incendiary round strikes a Shahed drone traveling at 100 miles per hour, the drone does not break apart. It detonates. The fiberglass airframe, the aviation fuel, the 100-pound explosive warhead, everything ignites simultaneously. The drone becomes a brief, bright fireball, and then ceases to exist. T-minus 20 seconds. The Bushmaster is methodically hunting the survivors. The thermal targeting system highlights each remaining drone in sharp white contrast against the black ocean. The fire control officer walks the cannon from target to target with surgical precision. Each burst is 3 to 5 rounds. Each burst is a kill. 30 drones left, 20, 10. The sailors on the observation decks of the Gerald R Ford are watching the distant sky. It looks like a fireworks show from hell. Pinpoints of orange light flash and die across the horizon. Trails of burning debris streak downward into the water. If this shocked you, comment Wraith below. T-minus 5 seconds. 3 drones remain. They have dropped to just 50 feet above the water, skimming the waves in a last desperate run toward the carrier. The Ghost Rider's sensors lock all 3 simultaneously. A single extended burst from the Bushmaster. 15 rounds, 3 direct hits. 3 simultaneous fireballs illuminate the surface of the strait. The burning wreckage splashes into the water 11 miles from the Ford. T-minus 0. Engagement complete. The fire control officer scans the thermal screen one final time. The strait is littered with floating debris and burning fuel slicks, but the sky is completely empty. Wraith 07 to Ford actual. All hostile contacts eliminated. 200 for 200. The sky is clean. Repeat. The sky is clean. The entire engagement lasted 1 minute and 32 seconds. Let's examine the staggering battle damage assessment. Iran launched 200 Shahed-136 kamikaze drones. This represented approximately 8 months of production capacity and an estimated cost of $4 million. The attack was designed to be Iran's most devastating asymmetric strike in history. The American response. A single AC-130J Ghost Rider expended 14 rounds of 105mm airburst ammunition and approximately 280 rounds of 30mm cannon fire. Total cost of ammunition expended, approximately $85,000. Iran spent $4 million, America spent $85,000. The cost exchange ratio is 47 to 1 in America's favor. 0 drones reached the carrier strike group. 0 American casualties. 0 damage to any vessel. The USS Gerald R. Ford continued its transit through the Strait of Hormuz without even reducing speed. The strategic implications of this engagement are seismic. Iran's entire maritime denial doctrine is built on the premise that cheap drone swarms can overwhelm expensive American defenses. Operation Wraithstorm proved that premise fatally flawed. The AC-130J Ghost Rider transformed the mathematics of swarm defense. Instead of firing million-dollar missiles at $1,000 drones, America used $1,000 artillery shells to create impassable walls of tungsten shrapnel in the sky. The drone swarm, Iran's ultimate asymmetric weapon, was neutralized not by technology more expensive than itself, but by technology more brutal than itself. In the IRGC bunker beneath Bandar Abbas, the commanders who authorized this operation are staring at a screen showing 200 zeros where 200 active drones used to be. Their careers are over. Their strategy is broken. Their 8-month operation was erased by 13 men in a single aircraft in the time it takes to heat a cup of tea. This is the terrifying reality of American air power. The United States does not just respond to new threats. It anticipates them, positions assets in advance, and annihilates them with overwhelming, calculated, merciless precision. The AC-130J Ghost Rider was born to dominate the ground. But when the threat came from the sky, it dominated the sky with the same savage efficiency. The Angel of Death does not care what it kills. It just kills everything. What is your tactical assessment of this engagement? Could any nation design a drone swarm capable of surviving a direct encounter with the Ghost Rider? And what happens when the next generation of AC-130Os carries directed energy laser weapons capable of burning drones out of the sky at the speed of light? Drop your analysis in the comments below. If this breakdown gave you a new understanding of modern naval warfare, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are covering the most intense military engagements and weapon systems on this channel, and the next one is going to be even more intense than this. You do not want to miss it.